Good afternoon, Fantasy Bay. Mike Williams here with another Week 11 game preview. And today we're going to be going over the Cardinals versus the 49ers. Let's get it started. The over-under for this game is 45. The spread is 10.5 points for the... Wow, 10.5 points for the 49ers. That's actually kind of surprising. Man, I don't think that they cover that. Dude, does Vegas know how injured the 49ers are? Kittle's out. Emmanuel Sanders is banged up, may not play. We have the running back situation with Matt Breida being out. Tevin Coleman was limping at the end of the game. Mostert is banged up, and he probably is the second running back on the list. I'm mashing the Cardinals in that line. That's crazy. 10.5? No way. Let's start with the 49ers since we were just talking about them so much. So Jimmy G, Mr. GQ, I think when he has all his pieces, I think he's a fine play. And by fine play, I mean I think that he's a solid quarterback. I don't think that he's super fantasy relevant unless he has a very plus matchup like against the Cardinals, like he did 2 weeks ago. He had 36. But that being said, he had a full allotment of talent on his team. Right now, everybody's banged up. I have Jimmy G as a quarterback 2, high-end quarterback 2, somewhere around 14. He's been playing okay. 13, 36, 17. That's all right. The 36 is amazing, and that's who, when he played Arizona, he's playing Arizona again, but I mean, is Emmanuel Sanders going to play? If Emmanuel Sanders plays, I'm very excited for him to play. If he plays, you definitely have to start Emmanuel Sanders. But if he does not play, the backup that you want is Deebo Samuel. He was getting so many targets last game. He got 11 targets in the game once Emmanuel Sanders and Kittle were out. 19 fantasy points. I think that he's a viable starter. He had 112 yards last week. If Emmanuel Sanders is out, Deebo Samuel is not only a good play, he's a must play, and I put him in all my daily. Tevin Coleman, he limped off the field a little bit last week, but I do believe he's going to come into this game fine. I have him as a low-end running back 1, high-end running back 2. Matt Breida, I believe, is going to be out, so that should give him and Mostert some more work. Mostert, if Matt Breida is out, which I believe he is, I think Mostert's a great play in DFS. I think he's a smash. So I think him and Deebo Samuels are good plays in DFS if their counterparts are out. And unfortunately for Kittle being out, the Arizona Cardinals are absolutely awful against the tight end position. So George Kittle would have feasted, but unfortunately he's not going to play this week. And the San Francisco defense, you got to play them. They're ridiculous. They're amazing. Top 5 play for me this week. Kyler Murray had an okay game last time, but he also had like an 80-yard touchdown pass that probably shouldn't have happened that boosted his scores up a little bit. He had 26 fantasy points, 241 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Well, if you cut that into 1 touchdown and 170 yards, which is what he would have had if he didn't get that crazy touchdown at the end, that doesn't look too great. So I'm looking to sit Kyler Murray if I can. I have him outside my top 12. There's a couple fringe guys that I'd play over him. I'd probably play Derek Carr over him. Kyler Murray is a very talented player, but the 49ers are pissed and they're great at defense. So I don't see Kyler Murray having a great game. I hope he does, but I don't think he will. 49ers are only allowing 10.4 fantasy points a game. That's the second best in the league. It's ridiculous. All right. I know that Larry Fitzgerald had a great game against the Bucs. Still not playing him against the 49ers. That's craziness. The 49ers are monsters against the wide receiver. Only allowing 17.5 points. That's sixth best in the league. That's ridiculous. Oh, sorry. 4th best in the league. Absolutely ridiculous. Christian Kirk, he showed out last week, and I knew he was going to show out last week. I told everybody to pick him up in daily fantasy, but that was against the Bucs. this ain't the Bucks. He had 2 points last time he played San Francisco. I don't think it's that bad. I think that Kirk ends up in the 7 to 10 range, but still, I mean, do you really want to start 7 to 10 fantasy points? Is there a chance he scores a touchdown? There's always a chance. But that defense is beastly, so I'm not counting on it. I have him as a flex play at best. David Johnson has been so disappointing this year. If he's not injured and he just looks like a slow old man, that's a problem. That's a real problem. And I don't think that – I don't know. I don't believe it. It's going to take more than a couple bad weeks for me to throw David Johnson off the roof. No, I like David Johnson, but I'm not playing him until I see it. But until I see it, I mean, I guess I'm forced to have Kenyon Drake be the ipso facto starter. Chase Edmonds still injured. Kenyon Drake, I mean, looked pretty solid last time he played San Francisco. 28 fantasy points. 15 rush attempts, 110 yards, 4 receptions for 52 yards. Now, is it because the 49ers didn't see that coming? Maybe. They'd be more prepared this time, and I'm sure they're pissed that they just lost to the Seahawks. So I'm sure they're doing everything in their power to play as well as they can defensively to help out Jimmy G and all the injuries. So I think Kenyon Drake is locked up this week. I also think David Johnson, if he plays, gets locked up. I hope he doesn't play if he's going to play like he did last week. Stay off the field. Get healthy. But if you are healthy and you're just playing terrible, man, that's not looking good for his future. And Charles Clay, no, we're not playing him. Or Arizona's defense. So that's going to do it, Fantasy Bay. If you have any questions, hit me up. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out my social media down below. Check out the rest of my videos. I post videos on all the games as well as like start studs and duds, waiver wire episode, daily fantasy. So if you have any questions on any of that, hit me up. And good luck this week. Fantasy Bay, I'm out.